Welcome, everybody, to the first virtual blind flight night of 2023. Really excited to be here. Thanks for checking us out. If you end up liking this video, please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe, especially if you're a member. If you haven't already, it really helps us out. We've got everybody ready to go backstage. So let's bring them in. Josh and Jackie. We got Ron. Mike, Landon, and Tom. All right, how you doing, guys?
Good.
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 All right, we're good. We have Mike there. Somebody got a cat going or something?
I think here. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of scratching and interference from something.
Yes. Let me check my headset here. Is that better?
Yep, that is much better. Okay, so we got some new people with us, and then for everybody watching, this is the first one of 2023. We'll go through the rundown here. Everybody on screen has 6 samples in front of them. You can see on your screen our theme is dueling whiskeys, so you can take that for what it is, for whatever you think it is. What we're going to do is we're going to taste through each one of these samples one at a time. And after tasting and nosing it, we're going to go around the room and give everybody an opportunity to give their first impressions. Once we've been through all 6 and we've heard everybody's first impressions, we can go back and taste the other way, do some side-by-side A/B comparison, come up with a ranking for everybody. And then once everybody has their ranking, I'll collect it and give us a group ranking, and then we'll reveal what we've been drinking tonight. So without any further ado, let's get into glass number 1. So let's go ahead and get glass number 1. I'm going to put our timer up, possibly. All right. Okay, we don't have the timer queued up. That's fine. So go ahead and give it a nose, check it out. We'll take just a quick minute here, taste it, and then we'll come back with everybody's first impressions. All right, so I thought we had our 1-minute timer up here. We don't. We just have our 30 seconds, so that's fine. We'll spend a little bit of time with each one. If you need a little more time, we can come back. But for glass number 1, I see Josh already marking down something. Let's go to Josh and Jackie. Jackie, what do you think your first impressions on glass number 1?
I liked it. I couldn't quite figure out the smell. I mean, it was sweeter. Maybe had some apple. And then the taste kind of reminded me of like a sweet tart.
Okay, interesting. Because I was getting, I can see a little bit of sweet tart on the nose now that you say that, but I was getting like some little bit of light chocolate, almost like a white chocolate on the.
Yeah, the sweetness is kind of where I kind of got the chocolatey at first, but then there's also that apple-y nose.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Josh, what about you? What did you think?
Yeah, I got fruit on the nose, and we must be on a candy kick tonight because I got red Starburst, like the candy, the Starburst candy.
Okay. Interesting.
Flavor.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Ron, how about you? What did you think first impressions on Oh, you know what? It's been a couple weeks. Let's get Ron front and center here. Ron, what'd you think first impression? First impressions on Glass One.
First impression, very sweet off the nose. I have very sweet off the nose, and then I put it in and swished it around a little bit. Had that spice, little rye, a little cinnamon. I also had that little on the finish. I had the chocolate and a little toffee on the very finish of it. But yeah, basically very smooth, very enjoyable, very good sip.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. All right, that's a good start off then. Landon, how about you? What did you think about Glass One?
Yeah, on the nose, I got kind of that cherry medicine that you would take as a child. And then through the flavor, it was like sugar candy, like hard candy. Great mouthfeel. Good finish. Sticks with you for a minute. This one's really tasty. I like this.
Perfect. All right. Chris, what did you think first impressions on Glass One?
So appearance, I thought it was, light like honey. I thought it looked thin initially. Aroma, I had fruit, some slight spice, and then the flavor, I had rice spice as well, almost like a red hot, with some cinnamon in there. I thought the finish was medium, and I think it's thicker on the mouthfeel than it actually looked in the glass.
Okay, so interesting you said that about the mouthfeel and thickness, and then we had a couple people talking about the cinnamon spice. So that's interesting. All right, Mike, what did you think? First impressions on Glass One?
Yeah, I liked it. I got honey and some chocolate on the aroma, and then the candy theme. I got Skittles, like the aftertaste after you eat some Skittles, kind of. That makes any sense. Smooth finish. I really enjoyed it.
Perfect. All right, this is a good start so far for the year. Tom, round us out here. What did you think first impressions on Glass One?
I liked it a lot. On the nose, definitely had fruit, and I couldn't pin down. I kept getting like an apple, but I also thought maybe I was smelling like a little bit of apricot as well. And as far as the flavor of it went, I went like a dark berry. I did get a tiny bit of that cinnamon spice, just a hint, but it was mostly like a fruity candy, flavor on that as well. Is what I was getting. But overall, I really enjoyed it.
Okay, good. All right, so that was some good feedback. So the other thing we do is after first impression of these pour, we just get a group consensus of either a thumbs up, sideways, or a thumbs down. So where are we at on this one? Okay, thumbs up across the board. That does not happen often, getting a thumbs up across the board. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and pick up Glass Two. Since I've got my shorter countdown ready, so why don't we go ahead and all kind of take a look at the color and how it's hanging on the glass first before we get into the nose and the taste. What do you guys think?
A lot darker.
A lot darker.
A lot darker.
It's boy, it's hanging on the glass like a sheet. It's not really dripping.
Yeah, it just hangs there.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, let's take some time, get into the nose and the taste, and we'll come back with your first impressions. All right. Don't worry if you need a couple more seconds finishing that up. But let's go back the other way and start with Tom this time. Tom, let us know what you thought about Glass Two. Oh, you're muted there, Tom.
Oh, sorry about that. Thanks. initially I thought it was a lot spicier, obviously. On the nose, I was getting like maybe a hint of mint with some like woodiness in there. The flavor of which though, like it was sweet initially and real fast moved into a peppery spice for me.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely got that increase in spice on this one over number 2. Some familiar flavors, but definitely way more spice. Mike, what did you think? Glass 2.
Yeah, I got definitely the spice and the pepper overtones. The finish really sticks with you. It's a coat your mouth. The aroma, I'm not pegging the aroma. It's something I do get some, maybe, I don't know, cedar. That sounds weird, but some woody, maybe cedar smells
Okay.
to it.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. Chris, let's go to you. What did you think first impressions on Glass 2?
Aroma, I had some caramel and butterscotch in there, but I am getting a lot of that cedar, like when you walk into like a cedar closet. The flavor, I got that sweetness up front, but once it hits the middle of the back of your tongue, that rye spice really settles in. I think it's a little hotter than number 1, and I did get that mint on the back end there, and it's almost like on the exhale of like when you exhale after having like spearmint gum or something like that. It's like the exhale is where I picked up that mint, and yeah, I think it had a medium to long finish. It's definitely warming.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't really catch that until you mentioned it, but kind of that minty rye on the finish. I can kind of see that. Yeah. Landon, how about you? What did you think about Glass 2?
Yeah, it looked great in the glass. I couldn't get much on the nose. The flavor, pretty much the same as everyone. It went this way, then it took a turn with some woodiness, a lot of rye spice, black pepper on the end. Definitely a lot hotter, but I liked what Chris definitely for me.
Okay. All right. And Ron, how about you? First impressions on Glass 2? Oh, hang on, Ron. You are muted.
There
There
I
we go.
helped. All right. On the smell, I definitely got that wood flavor or wood scent. I've got an apricot type fruit, very botanical. I had botanical on the smell and botanical slightly on the taste in the front. Pepper, wood. It tastes older. It tastes like an older bourbon. I mean, I was fortunate to do the 15-year with you guys in the fall. And you really do, when you have a 15-year bourbon, you can really taste the wood. That's similar to what this is. It has a very long finish. It's still sitting right here after the sips, similar to like a Taylor for me, an E.H. Taylor. That's one of my favorite. I call it my bad day bourbon. It just sits there and you let that kind of cool down. Then you just take another slow sip and you just go on. So that's kind of what it is for me.
Okay. Interesting. All right. And Jackie, what did you think first impressions on Glass 2?
I also got I feel like there wasn't as much of a nose on this one, but I did get some caramel, and then I also agree with the woodiness. And then same with everybody else with the taste. For like the very first second was like a little bit sweet, but then it quickly turned to that spice, which I don't really care for. But.
No, I agree with you 100%. I thought the nose was a little more lacking than number 1.
Yeah.
Josh, how about you? What did you think?
Yeah, I didn't get much on the nose. Kind of agreeing with everybody else. I just kind of got that bitter, oaky mouth. Like the taste, I can't really describe the mouth feels.
Like the oaky tannins?
Yeah, it was different.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I thought it had some familiar notes to it. Definitely spicier, little bitter, like a dark chocolate bitter on the finish. And then after Chris had mentioned that kind of mintiness tailing off at the end, I kind of got that a little bit too. So yeah, that was interesting. All right, so where are we at on glass number 2? Okay, a little more divisive. Couple sideways, couple thumbs up. Thumbs down. Okay. All right. Wow. A little more decisive on glass 2. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to glass 3. Let's kind of pick it up, take a look at it here. I think, is it just me or does this one look a little bit lighter?
Yeah.
Well, hanging on the glass pretty decent.
Yeah, it's got some good legs to it, even though it's looking light.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take some time, get into the nose and the taste, and we'll come back with your first impressions. All right. I know that probably wasn't enough time. I'm going to run that one more time, and we'll be back with your first impressions. All right, we're back. Oh, who did we lose here? Chris. We lost Chris.
Oh.
All right, hopefully he'll jump back in. All right, let's go back around and get your guys' first impressions on glass 3. Oh, there's Chris. Let's bring him back in. There we go. All right, and Josh and Jackie. Josh, what did you think about glass 3?
You got a lot of that sweet caramel on the nose. And the taste was just like the classic bourbon caramel oakiness. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Pretty much what he said. Caramel nose, a little bit of woodiness, and then the flavor sweet caramel. I liked it a lot better than the last one.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was picking up some. Well, you mentioned caramel. I was thinking about some syrup, almost like a buttery syrup, not leaning into maple, but like a buttery syrup of some kind, if that makes sense. So, Ron, let's take a look at what you got for glass 3.
I have that sweet caramel on the scent, when you smell it. I had that rye, pepper, mint, a little creamy. I had that light wood, like very, very faint light wood on it, and a little bit of leather. The finish is a little different. Instead of finishing in the back of my throat, it's finishing on the back of my tongue, the very back of it.
Yep, I agree with that.
Just a different finish. It was smooth. I was surprised that, it's not harsh. So, but that's what I have.
Okay. Awesome. Mike, what did you think first impressions on glass 3?
This is like a Werther's original in a glass.
Oh, all
That's
right.
what I got. I got butterscotch toffee right away. And this is one of those bourbons that, for me anyways, the aroma and flavor matched.
Okay. Perfect. All right.
Yeah, and I got the same mouthfeel. I can really feel it in my cheeks. It just kind of lingered there.
All right. And that's a good thing for you?
Yeah, it is.
Perfect. All right. Landon, what did you think first impressions on glass 3?
Yeah, definitely got a lot of caramel on the nose, and then flavor. At first, it was a little similar to 1 for me, but then it turned a lot more sweeter. A lot woodier butter. Got black licorice. That's one of the things I wrote down. Good finish, smooth. Yeah, I don't know. This one's pretty good.
Okay. Great. And Tom, what did you think first impressions on glass 3?
Yeah, 100% agree with the caramel on the nose. That was pretty much the only nose I got out of it. And then as far as the flavor went, like it did have like that sweeter, smooth taste, but I was getting a little bit of leather. And then when Landon said that, like I could maybe taste some of that black licorice as well. It had just a little bit of that pepperiness in it. But overall, it was really good.
Okay. Awesome. And Chris, what did you think about Glass 3?
I thought it was really good. The aroma, I actually had like Fruity Pebbles. Like when you first pour that bowl of Fruity Pebbles and the aroma comes up to your nose. I thought it was sweeter, longer up front with a pepper bite on the end. And the leather I was getting, there was leather, but it was like old dusty book leather.
All right.
I think Josh really nailed it with the classic bourbon. I think if I had to describe a bourbon to somebody, I think this is right in line with that. And yeah, I think the finish is kind of quick, but same with Ron. It definitely hit the back of my tongue. It's kind of sitting there.
Okay. Interesting. So I'm really interested to see, especially coming off Glass 1 and 2, where are we at on Glass 3 across the board for everybody here? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Sideways, couple sideways. Okay. All right. A little more consensus, but still a little decisive there. All right. Well, we've made it through 3 of our 6. So let's take a moment to take a break, get some water, let your palates come down to temperature real quick. And we've got a couple of Whiskey Society updates. Hopefully you've been seeing the announcements. We've got our VIP finished bourbon in-person event coming up next Friday. Tickets are still open for that. That's a pretty good lineup. We've got, I think, 5 different styles of finishing for bourbons as samples we're going to taste through. We're going to have some snacks and foods there available. It's going to be a fun time for everybody to kind of get together. So if you haven't signed up to that and you're available next Friday, I encourage you to check that out. Also have been, I've got everything for our big June trip. All the reservations are done. Pretty much everything is confirmed with the exception of a couple of the distilleries, which I have to wait a couple months for. But the top tiers who have originally responded back when we talked about this, we've been sent out. Tickets are opening for the deposits of that. And so you'll see that opening as we have spots available. And then we are rocking and rolling on our first public charity event that is going to be at the Monclova Community Center. We're going to have 150 tickets. It's going to be an awesome night. There's going to be a VIP tasting with some pretty heavy hitting whiskeys in it that will be announced pretty soon. So we're targeting the announcement, ticket sales, and the advertisement to go on February 1st for all of that. So a lot of cool stuff coming up. We're working with a merchandise retail partner that as soon as our website launches, you'll be able to go on. You'll have a full store available. It's all drop shipping. You'll be able to order it. They'll send it right to your house. So a lot of cool stuff. Anybody have any questions about anything that's going on with the Whiskey Society? Let me jump over. Looks like we got a couple of comments. Hey, everyone. Don here. Hey, Don. Good buddy of Mike's watching along here. Hey, thanks for watching along, man. Paul Smith's watching along. Hey, Paul. So, guys, we got 4 people watching. If anybody has any questions about what's going on in the Whiskey Society, or you want to say anything to anybody on screen here, just type it in the chat and I'll get it on there. But you guys have anything before we get going on with the other 3 pours here? No? All right, cool. Let's go ahead and pick up glass 4. Take a look at it. Well, looks like it could be a little darker. Not really sure if it's hanging on the glass as well or not. What do you guys think?
Yeah, the legs aren't as evident for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Almost just smeared on the glass.
All right. Well, let's I'm going to roll through the countdown twice here. I apologize. We are going to have a full minute countdown geared up ready for the next one. We'll adapt and overcome, and we'll roll through this one twice here. make sure I give you guys enough time to get into the nose and the taste. So here we go. All right, and we're back. Boy, I don't know about you guys. I mean, hopefully you've already got your notes written down, so I'm not going to influence you. But this one came off way woodier than the other three so far. Like it was like someone trying to hit you upside the head with like an old 2x4 or something. But that's just what I thought. Let's find out what Chris thought. Chris, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 4.
So I've got an apple pie on this all around from aroma to flavor. I think there was like a lot of sweet baked bread on the nose. And then again on the flavor, on the palate, I even got apple pie. And it was like that crisp apple up front with like a sweet cinnamon finish. I think the finish is very short, almost non-existent.
Okay. I don't know about the finish, but man, once you mentioned, I needed that. Once you mentioned the apple pie and I went back to the nose. Yeah. Especially that like crisp apple, almost like when you're making the apple crumble or pie. And so you've cut up the apples, mixed all the cinnamon, sugar and stuff, but you haven't baked it yet.
Yeah. It's like fresh, crisp. Yeah. Apple. Yep.
Okay. Mike, what do you think? First impressions on Glass 4.
So I got like a pineapple upside down cake, like pineapple-y on the aroma. And I got some in the flavor. I got some wood overtones, but then I got at the back end. It was like an anise almost.
Okay.
And I got a long finish on mine.
Okay.
Mine kind of really stuck with me, and it was like a good spice, and it stuck with me a little bit longer.
All right. Interesting. Okay. Landon, how about you? What did you think? First impressions on Glass 4.
Yeah, I liked when you said hit you like with a 2x4. Yeah, very woody, musty, smoky. Then once that was over, I got the baked goods. It coated the mouth very well. It was nice, and I got medium to long finish on it.
Yeah, I think I'm right on board with that. I got hit with some sweetness at first, and then it rolled into all that wood, and it wasn't even like a sweet oak. It was just like dry wood, and then the back finish with the baking spice. And now, Mike, I think I'm picking up a little bit of that like licorice anise kind of note on the back end. I didn't notice that at first, but that might be. It's a little drying on the finish.
Yeah.
Tom, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 4.
Typically, I would like something like this, but for whatever reason, just something in this one was just hitting me wrong. I don't know why, but like when I first smelled it, it smelled kind of like an apple fruity smell, but then I went really deep with the nose, and I got like almost like a fresh cut grass. I had to really suck it in to smell it, and the flavor had a lot of strong wood, and I got like some baking spices, but just something in there just wasn't working for me. I don't know what it was, but usually I like that drying feel that you were talking about. But
yeah.
This time, not so much.
Okay. All right. Ron, how about you? What did you think about Glass 4?
I had it very smooth in the beginning. I got the apple. I did get the grass. I got grass more than wood. Mint, a little bit of pepper, honey, vanilla. The one thing I'd say about the finish, when I first couple sips, the finish was really, really light, like non-existent. But the more I sipped on it, it sits on the back of my tongue. Doesn't sit down in my throat, just sits on the sides of the back of my tongue a little bit. It's just sitting there, but a little light, compared to, I wouldn't say it's really complex with the lightness on the front end of it.
Okay. Interesting. All right. And let's go over to Josh and Jackie. Jackie, what did you think about Glass 4?
This one was a lot different than the others. At first, I thought the only thing I could really think of is corn. It reminded me of when we were actually at Middle West and sitting there in the aroma there. I know it's very specific,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
But then I also got that woody kind of musty smell. I struggled with trying to figure out what the flavor was, but now that you say kind of that baked goods, I can kind of get that. And then as far as the finish, I felt like it finished on the front of my tongue rather than normal throat.
Okay. Yeah. Get that.
Yep.
And Josh, what did you think?
I got mint for the aroma, and then more like that. Almost at first it was more rye to me, it seemed like, and then with an oaky finish. It was different.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, this one did come across a lot different, didn't it? All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm echoing all that. It's kind of building on me as I go. My first sip, I was like, wow, a little bowled over by it. But it's kind of building on me. All right. So across the board, where are we at on this one? I think I might actually be just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Chris, a thumbs up. Bunch of just okays. Tom's kind of a thumbs down. All right. Wow. Okay. So we're all over the board on this group. So, all right, let's go ahead and pick up glass number 5. Now, this is not just
this one's
Is this
dark.
a stout?
So
yeah, this is not just me. This one is dark, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
This is Guinness.
When I was pouring them, that was the first comment I made of how dark this one was.
yeah, that's not camera work. That's how dark it is.
Is this Guinness?
Guinness. Flat Guinness. All right. So I'm going to roll through the countdown twice again here, give you a minute to get to know this pour, and we'll be back with your first impressions. Wow. Okay. Now I heard a couple people mention cinnamon with, I think, maybe even pour number 2. This was like if you were chewing on a cinnamon stick while eating a mouthful of Red Hots. So I'm really interested to see what you guys think about this. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's go to Tom first. Tom, give me your first impressions on glass 5.
On the nose, I was getting like a dark cherry, dark fruit smell. Initially, I got a bunch of sweetness. Then, yeah, it was just all cinnamon, but it was a sweet cinnamon, like a candied cinnamon, and it was really nice.
Okay, great. All right, so Tom liked it. Let's go to Landon. Landon, what did you think about glass 5?
Yeah, this one's interesting. I couldn't get much on the nose. The palate tastes like flowers and dirt, and then it blossomed into a beautiful aged dried candy fruit cinnamon on the finish.
All right.
I don't think it's not too proofy, I don't think, but it's definitely thick.
All right. Landon's in botany land here.
Yeah, he is.
Let's go to Mike. Mike, what did you think about Glass 5?
On the aroma, just like Tom said, I got dark cherry right away, and then I noticed it again, and I'm kind of getting a musty grape after that dark cherry, but like really really faint. But then oak and cinnamon on the flavor, and just a nice medium finish.
Okay. All right. And let's go with Chris. What did you think? First impressions on Glass 5?
So the smell I got, it was hard to kind of nail down. I just had rich at first, complex, but then it started to smell more like a rick house or like walking into a humidor, like a cigar affair or something. And then it came through on the flavor a little bit with the tobacco and the cinnamon. That humidor really came through, and I too have a medium finish on this one.
Man, as soon as you said walking into a humidor and I smelled it, I had flashbacks. So I've only been to Cigar Fair once, but 3rd Street Cigar I've been to many a time. And oh yeah. Yep, I could see that big time. Ron, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 5?
First off, that cigar comment is dead on. That is dead on. Dark fruits, very rich, very complex. Oh, this is dark. I had a long finish. Taste wise, right off the rip, the cinnamon, a rye, a pepper, a wood. I had a wood into it, chocolate, leather. Very complex. I'd probably enjoy sitting on this one. This one's going to be a thumbs up for me.
Okay, interesting. All right. And let's go to Josh and Jackie. Josh, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 5?
So I had juicy fruit for the aroma at first, and then like a red hot. But I tried it again. I'm starting to get a lot more of that tobacco flavor.
Okay, so you mentioned juicy fruit. I'm getting big red gum.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Jackie, yeah, what did you think about Glass 5?
I have no idea where he got the juicy fruit, but
That's all right.
I definitely get the cinnamon and the red hot. I feel like there was something else there, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But I liked it, which surprised because it seems like hotter, but I think because it reminds me of a red hot. I know it's weird. I like red hot, but I don't like spicy. So, but I liked it.
Okay. All right. That's okay. That's all right. So this will be interesting. Where are we at across the board here?
This is my favorite one yet.
I might be able to convince to be a thumbs up. I don't know.
I really want to know what this is.
Yeah, same here.
Wow.
I've got 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Cool. Well, we got one left. Let's go ahead and pick up Glass 6. It's pretty dark. I don't think it's as dark as 5, but it's pretty dark.
Yeah, it's dark. Not as dark though. Yeah.
And so it's sheeting on the glass pretty well, which is what Glass 5 did. But I noticed Glass 5, it wasn't until I took a couple sips that the legs started running down and they were slow and thick. So I don't know if this one will do the same thing, but all right. Well, just like last time, I'm going to run through the counter a couple times here, give you a chance to get into this one, and we'll be back with your impressions. That was interesting. Boy, I tell you what, my control pour, some of you know what I got for my control pour. I went back and just smelled it just so I can get a check on what I was doing here. And I'm going to definitely, when we have our next bottle share, I'm going to be bringing this Blue Note pick. Anybody watching, or you guys, I don't know if you've had a chance to have a Blue Note pick. This is the very first pick from Josh and Aaron from Stuff and Whiskey. They did it in collaboration with Jason C. And the Mash and Journey, and Scott over with the Mash and Journey. This is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Little plug, Stuff and Whiskey. If you haven't heard of them, check out their YouTube channel. And we've got 3 collaborative picks with them coming up with our group. The first one being Found North Whiskey on January 30th. That will be live streamed for that barrel pick. And hopefully you guys watch along with that. But for now, let's go around and see what everybody thought about Glass 6. Chris, let's start with you. What did you think, buddy? First impressions on Glass 6.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Initially I had some like dusty leather books. There was some like fresh sawdust up front, but then as I stuck my nose a little deeper, it became again that wet wood, like walking into like the rick house. Flavor, I had that leather come through a little bit, some spice, some oak. I thought the finish was medium to long, and this one kind of really settled in your chest. Again, nice and warming.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so that wet wood, like that rick house, right? Like those oak staves soaked in
like
that.
Almost musty. Yeah.
Oh, man, it's good stuff. Mike, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 6?
I liked it too. The aroma I got was some orange zest, and then just it was a musty, wet wood kind of taste, medium finish, but just kind of still lingered. Not over the top though.
Okay, interesting. You know, as soon as you said orange zest, I went back to it, and I could see that. And you almost might be able to convince me of like an old fashioned smell on it.
Yeah,
a little bit of a cocktailness to it.
Yeah.
Landon, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 6?
Yeah, it's very woody. I'm stuck in botany land again on this one. I feel like it's like swampy and musty, and I'm still thinking of cigar on the last one, the leather. Yeah, this one is very similar for me to the last one, so these two kind of go in line with the similar notes.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, how about you? What did you think about Glass 6?
I didn't like it as much as 5, but I still really liked it. On the nose, I was getting like just a ton of just earthy, the musty, a little bit of leather. As far as like the flavor of it, it was a little spicy. I got a little clove in there and some black pepper, but still like that earthy, woody taste as well.
Okay, interesting. Ron, how about you? What did you think? First impressions on Glass 6?
This definitely tastes old. Both the last two have that older taste to it, like a dark fruit. I had a little bit of herbal, and I actually right off the rip, I circled old wood right off the rip. Pepper, cinnamon, like a chocolate, a maple. On the nose, it smelled a little sweet on the nose. I was really surprised after I started tasting it, I didn't get as much sweet in it. I got more spice in it. Very complex. It's dark, not as dark as the one before, but I do believe these last two are a little bit older.
Okay. All right. And Josh and Jackie.
Well, I know. Oh.
Josh, what did you think?
I got a lot of floral aroma to it, and I got just like the leather, the wood. Probably tonight the most complex pour, which makes me want to rank it number 1, but to me, I don't know.
Okay. All right, that's okay. Hey, we're gonna have to A/B test these side by side because I think I have an order, but man, I don't know. Jackie, what did you think?
I did not like this one. I don't know. Maybe I got something different in this one, but I will say it was more complex than the rest of them. I think it was Chris that had the dusty sawdust smell. I kind of get that now. And then like the wet wood, and I also got the herbal to it, but not my favorite.
Okay. Oh, that's all right. Okay. Yeah, it was good. I was struggling this one. I think I'm a sideways on this one. What do the rest do you think? Okay, I thought we were going to be mixed. Okay, sideways, thumbs up, sideways, thumbs down. Yeah, I thought we might be mixed. So I'll tell you what, I am gonna have to go back and A/B test it because I think I have my setup, but like 5 I really liked, but I have it in 4th place, even though I really liked it. So all right, so at this point we went through all 6. We've gotten everybody's first impressions. What I want to do now is just free form, right? So you can taste back through them. I don't know how familiar, Mike, you are with doing blind flights like this, but when you taste back the other way, it changes drastically the taste on there. So
Okay.
A/B comparison, taste back through them. I know I'm going to have to really try and narrow down what my top 3 and bottom 3 are. Talk it out. Feel free to talk it out. And then we still have 3 people watching. If you guys have any questions, post in the chat. Yeah, let's get our rankings narrowed down here. I'm going to go back. I got to go back to 1 because 1 in first place.
This one's kind of like a journey. We started in Candyland and ended up in the swamp.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I really like that one because it's got that sweetness candy flavor, but then I also like the number 5 because it's got that cinnamon. They're very different. But
So the other thing is going back to 1 now. 1 is really soft, like really soft, super easy drinking. Man, it's really good. I don't know if it's enough to stay in first place now.
It's weak now.
It is weak.
Yeah, I just poured mine over ice too, so it's super weak.
See, now I go back to 3. 3 still has a nice butteriness to it. It's almost like melted butter, but with the candy sweetness and honey. But then it's got some spice to it too that I like. The nose on 2 is much different for me now.
Oh yeah. Getting caramel on 2.
Okay. Man, I'm changing this up here. Okay. I think I know my bottom 2. Chris, are you locked in? You going with your gut?
Yeah.
I got my bottom 2.
All right, I think I got my top 2. I got my bottom 2. Wow.
Yeah, going back through has always just reassured me on my picks, so I almost never go back through.
Wow, that changed a lot for me. Okay. Interesting. All right. All right. I think I got my lineup too. I'm going to have to go with it. I could go back and forth. It's not as hard as some of our flights have been. Some of our flights, wow. So as you're finishing up, interesting question. Based on all the comments you guys had, I would be very interested if someone wanted to not even try and guess what it is, but any idea of what like our proof range is here or our age range, because I kept on hearing a lot of dark oak, a lot of age, older kind of notes. So does anybody have an idea of what kind of age ranges or proof ranges we're working with here?
I feel like the proof couldn't have been that high. I don't think they were super high, but I don't think they were kind of like medium, like
A medium proof?
I don't think we had any 90 proofs. We
yeah,
maybe-
90 to 100.
Maybe
Yeah.
one proof in there, but I think
I
everything's
agree with Jackie. 90 to 100.
Okay.
Not all.
Going
Okay.
with Jackie on medium proof.
Okay.
You like my
What do you guys-
terminology? Josh didn't like it.
What do you guys think about ages?
Mm.
I mean, I think those 5 and 6, number 5 and 6, got to be older.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I mean, they're definitely. If I had to say based off color and that rick house set in there, picking up a lot of that wood, I'd guess at least over 8. But
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say minimum 6 for some of them, maybe 12 on the higher end.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
Interesting.
I agree with Mike. Yep.
All right. So let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you're locked in with your ranking. Okay. All right. So looks like Landon, you need a couple minutes.
I'm writing it down now. I'm good.
Okay. So I will tell you in this lineup, there are 4 barrel proofs. 4 barrel proofs, over 110 proof.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
And the
Medium.
oldest, there's 2 whiskeys in here that are 6 years old, and those are the oldest.
Oh wow.
No kidding.
Yeah. And all of these are available too. Like there's no unicorns in here. All of these are available. You might have to get something online or maybe go up to liquor cabinet instead of right next door to you, but they all are available too. So the comments you guys had and a couple of 2 thumbs ups and the way you reacted, I like that a lot too, because I like surprising people. So what we're gonna do is I've got everybody's name down here. We do a golf score when we do these blind flights. So I'm gonna go person by person, and you're gonna start with your first place glass number to your last place. So if glass 3 was your first place, you would say, 3, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. Just give me the glass number in order of favorite to least. And then so your first place will get 1 point, your second place will get 2 point, third place 3 point. Lowest score overall wins. That's how we do the scoring here. And once we get everybody's scores, I'll tally them, and we'll get some winners, and we'll show you guys what you've been drinking. So let's start off with Josh. Josh, give me your glass numbers, favorite to least favorite.
So 6, 5, 1, 3, 2, 4.
Okay, and Jackie?
1, 5, 3, 4, 2, 6.
Okay, Ron?
5, 1, 6, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, and Tom?
5, 3, 1, 6, 2, 4.
Okay, and Landon?
1, 5, 2, 4, 3, 6.
All right, and Chris?
5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 1.
And Mike?
5, 3, 2, 6. I'm sorry. Let me start over again. 5, because I've crossed mine out several times. 5, 3, 1, 6, 2, 4.
All right. And I am 2, 1, 5, 3, 6, 4. Wow, these are
It's gonna
all
even
over the
it out.
place. These are all over the place. So we're definitely
close.
going to have to tally these up. So I'm going to tally up the scores. You guys, if you have anything left in your glass, enjoy it, have fun, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
I feel like number 5 is going to be number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it
do
should
too.
be.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are all wrong.
Oh my goodness.
We were really off on the proof. We drink too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think number 2 is probably, to me, tastes the hottest or like the highest proof, but that's also because of the peppery spiciness. But I don't know.
Yeah. The age really surprises me.
That
Yeah,
shocked me.
especially with the
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
Number-
Number 5. Yeah.
Like 5 is
That like
I'm
sucked
with
the wood out of it.
yeah. Maybe it's just a smaller barrel.
If it's 6 years, it must just be a smaller barrel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they must blend a smaller barrel.
hmm
Which leads me to believe it might be Middle West.
Joe's laughing.
Uh,
Joe, was it a single blind for you tonight, Joe?
huh?
Was it a single blind for you?
Yeah, this is a single blind. I know everything that's in it.
You know everything. You know what we're
He knows
drinking.
nothing.
And I think based on knowing what it is, I think I know what the lineup is. I was trying to be impartial with everything the whole way through, but it's difficult when you know what's in it.
I keep thinking of
I'll
this.
tell you, I learned after doing the first tasting with you guys that I needed to be a little better prepared. So tonight I got a bourbon tasting sheet off the internet, and that's how I did these bourbon tastings
Nice.
tonight.
Nice.
It's on Breaking Bourbon's website is the tasting sheet I used, and it just has everything, and I just circle stuff as I taste it. Makes it a lot easier for me.
Check it out.
You won't have to because now we're going to put one up on the site.
Is that the tasting wheel?
It was
No,
good.
that's actually. Let's see
Oh.
if I can get the camera there.
So it's not a wheel, but yeah, it gives you the notes. So normally, if Will is on with us, he'll pop up in the chat a little flavor wheel or something to help out. So
I have that too.
okay,
Yes.
there you go.
Yeah.
So
I have
Don says, I love that all the barrels are pretty readily available. Allocated bottles are cool, but love experiencing stuff on the shelf. Yeah, so and I'm excited. This is why I love the blind flight nights, right? Because everybody who's been here before, I love putting a curveball in there. I love putting stuff that is underrated that people overlook or maybe haven't heard of that you can actually hunt down and actually find.
Yeah.
So, all right, almost done here.
What was that one corn? There was one that's like, what, $20 and super
Mellow
easy.
corn?
Well, mellow corn.
Was it
Yeah,
mellow
mellow
corn
corn.
that we did once? I don't remember.
Yeah.
There was one that was like $20, super easy to find. That was like number 1 on one of the flight nights.
I remember Old Overhurt, the rye. Really
Hmm.
good. You can see that on the shelf all the time.
I always tend to like the ones that are really hard to find, though, or the old ones.
Joe's 1978 Jim Beam.
Yeah, that one.
The 15-year-old 1976 Jim Beam distilled in 1961.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was like my first one that I was like, man, I
Jesse
really
Ross
like
said
this
that was a fun
one.
Oh,
So does anybody have a guess at what came in first place? What glass number?
Number 5.
5.
So number 5 did come in first place, and it came in first place by a lot. So that is interesting.
That was my number 1. Sounds like I'm right.
Guinness is on the shelf a lot. So.
Yes. Good.
Okay, so first place. So this is a golf score. We have a decent amount of people on here, not the most we've had, but a decent amount. And it is very hard for a glass to score in the teens. It is extremely difficult to score under 15. And I think we've only ever had one maybe get close to 10. But Glass 5 got 13.
Wow.
That is a really good score. Now, compare that to glass number 4 in last place got a 40.
Oh wow!
A 40. That is almost, I think, one of our worst scores we've ever had. So we will start with that. We will start with last place. Again, these are all bottles you can get. You may have to do a little bit of work for a couple of them, but they are available. The oldest is 6 years. There are 4 barrel proofs. Glass number 4 in 6th place with 40 points. Let me make sure I get the correct one here. This is surprising to me. Maybe not. So this is Wilderness Trail.
Oh wow!
6 year. Now, the difference between this is their 6 year. This is their weeded mash bill bourbon, and it is the Family Reserve cask strength. This is Wilderness Trail 6-year-old cask strength weeded bourbon. And this one is 6 years, 2 months old, and it is 109.6 proof. 109.6 proof.
That was number 4.
And this is glass number 4. Glass number 4, Wilderness Trail 6 year, weeded mash bill.
I wrote down 110. Wow.
109.6 proof.
I'm glad it's not the bottle that I wrote down.
Yeah. So what's interesting, I was really excited to see the 6 year came out, and we got the 6 year Bottle and Bond 100 proof. I was super excited to find the 6 year cask strength, and I was a little disappointed when I tried it. I was able, and I think it's still available on Keg and Bottle. Chad and Sarah's weeded new Wilderness Trail pick called Wheat Science. It's a blend of 3 different barrels they picked. I tried it head to head against this, and it blew this out of the water. It is such a good Wilderness Trail bottle. It's absolutely amazing. So that's our last place. In 5th place, this also kind of surprised me a little bit. In 5th place, glass number 2 with 36 points. 36 points, glass number 2. Now, this whiskey, Fred Minnick had on his show as one of his biggest surprises for 2021, or maybe it was 22. It was early in 22. He put out a video of one of his biggest surprises. You can go look the video up. But this is Journeyman Distillery, Corset's Whiskey. This is their cask strength wheat whiskey.
Can you repeat?
So Journeyman Distillery, Corsets, Whips, and Whiskey. It's their cask strength wheat whiskey. So it's 100% wheat, and it is 117 proof.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Well, that one did drink hot. Yeah,
It did.
Yeah, 117 proof, 100% wheat whiskey. This does have a very long finish, which Fred Minnick usually tends to weight heavily on. It does have a lot of chocolate notes, but to me, it comes off with like a Mexican spicy chocolate kind of. And for 100% wheat whiskey, it does have a lot of spice. So
They were just up at a liquor cabinet, right?
they do have this at the liquor cabinet. And I talked to their distributor or their sales rep that was there. I'm going to try and line up an in-person event for the whiskey society with Journeyman Distillery. They are out of Michigan. They're only a few hours away.
Yeah.
So that was glass number 2, 5th place. Now, in 4th place, not too bad of a showing with 32 points. Glass number 6. So glass number 6, 4th place with 32 points is Watershed Distillery. This is their limited edition 6-year-old cask strength.
Which one was that one?
This is glass number 6.
6.
4th place. This is 126.1 proof.
Wow.
Wow.
It does not drink that hot.
What was the proof? What was the proof again?
126.1.
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
So there you go. Watershed Distillery, 6-year limited edition cask strength. Really good. Also interesting to note, on April 15th, we have a barrel pick with Watershed coming up, and their single barrels are coming out recently really nice. So that's something to look forward to. And it came in 4th place. Not too bad.
Wow.
Let's see. Moving on. 3rd place was Glass number 3 with 29 points. Glass number 3, 3rd place. This is actually not too bad. This bottle, the 100 proof version of this bottle was one of my first early bourbon loves that really said, wow, got me into bourbon, that I love bourbon. And that is the Wilderness Trail 4-year weeded mash bill. Now, this is the cask strength version. This is a single barrel pick from Total Wine. It is 117 proof.
Oh, wow.
Now, I know you guys did not pick Glass 3 to drink 117 proof.
No, not at all.
So, Wilderness Trail, this is their 4-year, 117 proof weeded bourbon. So, I don't know. Well, this is the first clue into our theme for tonight. Dueling whiskeys. You have a 4-year weeded bourbon cask strength, a 6-year weeded bourbon cask strength from Wilderness Trail. Now we get to our top 2. In 2nd place, Glass number 1 with 21 points. Glass number 1 with 21 points. This is pretty exciting because this is available at Liquor Cabinet. I know right now. This is Journeyman Distillery Buggy Whip Wheat. This is their 90 proof version of their wheat whiskey.
Wow.
Number 1.
What
What was the proof on it? Sorry.
90 proof.
What was the Journeyman Distillery? What was the catchphrase?
Buggy Whip.
It is the Buggy Whip Wheat. It is their 100% wheat whiskey, 90 proof. So again, dueling whiskeys. You've got their 90 proof wheat whiskey and their cask strength wheat whiskey that you tried side by side. So that was Glass number 2 in 5th, or in Glass number 1 in 2nd place. And now Glass number 5, 1st place with 13 points. Watershed Distillery 4-year cask strength limited edition. This one is 110.2 proof. Now, you have to put an asterisk by this one because I forgot I had done this. When I got this, so this is I think this is the 2021 release. This is the 2021 release, the 4-year. The 6 years, the 2022 release. We got this, I think it was April or May of 21. And when I opened it and tried it, it was hot, it was grassy, it was young. I did not like it. So I don't know if you can see that or not in there, but I put a bourbon bullet in it. And there's been a bourbon bullet sitting in this bottle since April of 2021.
Oh, okay.
That's where your darkness, because it was not this dark. It was dark. It was dark to begin with, but it wasn't this dark.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
So you have to put an asterisk by this one.
Yeah, sure.
This is a dumb question, but what's a bourbon bullet?
Oh, so you can buy them online. They're just like spirals bullet. This is a bullet shape. It's just a piece of oak that they char that you can put in there to help age it a little more, round it out. It's no different than putting this. Well, I mean, it's a little different than putting this in a mini barrel because it's just a little piece of oak that they char that you drop in.
Huh.
That's why you were laughing when we were talking about a small barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Ron's got them.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
right there. Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of different shapes and companies that make them. They do help old Bardstown from Willett. I can't stand, and I put a bourbon barrel in there for about 10 months, and it made it palatable. But Watershed, I'm super excited for our pick. They're coming out. Their newer, older whiskey is really, really good. This just wasn't hitting right for me when I first opened it, so I put the bourbon barrel. And now, obviously, now that the bourbon bullet has been in it, everybody loves it. So,
Where's Watershed located?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep, it's one of the Columbus distilleries. And when we go down there, I'm going to be announcing pretty soon that we're going to be tying in another Columbus distillery tour trip when we go down and do that pick.
Yeah.
So members will be able to sign up. We'll ride down together. We'll hit up a couple of distilleries. We'll do a pick there. We'll go over to Middle West because we've already done a pick there. We're going to do a pick there again in the fall. So, but again, dueling whiskeys. You had the 4-year and the 6-year cask strength. Again, asterisk on the. What do you guys think? Any surprises?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they were cask strength.
Yeah.
I was amazed because usually if I'm drinking something that strong, I'm going to be feeling it, but I'm not feeling anywhere near what I was feeling from the 15 years you had us to that we had.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised on the age. I thought these were a little bit older.
Okay. Yep. So Don says, my wife's favorite just happens to be the Sazerac 18-year. I know your pain. Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to get there. That's cool. Oh, we got Dusty Dan in the chat walk. Wow, thanks, Dan. I appreciate you checking us out. So, let's see. He came in a few minutes ago. We just got finished up with our flight. Our flight again was dueling whiskeys. We had the 4-year cask strength Wilderness Trail Wheated Bourbon versus the 6-year cask strength Wilderness Trail Wheated Bourbon. I love Wilderness Trail. I love everything they're doing down there. Fantastic distillery. Again, their 4-year wheated bourbon bottle and bond was one of those that stands out to me that really got me and I fell in love with bourbon. I mean, it was like buttered pancakes, and I really realized what bourbon could be. Then we've got our Journeyman 100% wheat whiskey. We've got the 90 proof and the cask strength version of that. And then again, we've got Watershed Distillery out of Columbus, Ohio. We're on April 15th. We are doing a barrel pick there. And we had their 4-year cask strength limited edition versus their 6-year cask strength. And again, the 4-year, a little asterisk because I had a bourbon bullet in it, but what are you going to do? So, all right. All of these you can get. You can get cask strength versions. The limited edition is a one-time year release, but you can get cask strength versions from Watershed from their distillery. Journeyman is available at Liquor Cabinet. I surprisingly enough, this Family Reserve 6-year cask strength Wilderness Trail I got from I think it was Pawkins. Pawkins, I got that. So they are around. I know Liquor Cabinet's got a good selection too that you guys can check out. Let me know. What are your guys' thoughts?
This
What are you
was
doing the rest of number 5? What are you doing the rest of that bottle?
What was number 5 again?
The
The 4-year with the bourbon bullet in it?
yeah.
I'll save it for our next bottle share. How's that sound?
deal.
Awesome.
Like it.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
surprised the amount
so-
of wheated that was in here.
Yeah. Same here.
So,
I would have not
everybody,
thought.
that was really fun, right? So in the beginning, I was really trying to keep my composure because I heard a lot of rye spice, a lot of spice,
Yeah.
spice, a lot of mintiness. And I'm like, okay, we got 2 wheat whiskeys and 2 wheated bourbons. It's interesting. So Don says, awesome flight tonight. Thanks, Don. I tend to lean more towards wheated bourbons, so this was cool to see. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. What else? What else you guys think? Any takeaways? Any bottles you're going to be searching for now?
I've always liked Wilderness Trail, but this just like reaffirms it.
Okay.
I'm still just surprised on the fact that they were somewhat higher of a proof. They didn't drink like that.
Yeah.
Not at all.
They drank really well for the proof levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
100%.
did.
And goes to show that Ohio can do bourbon just as well as anybody else too.
That's right. You know, there's a couple misses with some Ohio
Sure.
distilleries,
Yep.
but we've got some good stuff going. Middle
Yeah.
West Spirits, Watershed are, I think, two probably the top tiers.
Mhm.
Followed by High Bank is right up there. You got Noble Cut doing some of their whiskeys I wasn't as big of a fan of, but I was super surprised with they're doing a like an artisan European style vodka that actually had some body, some flavor. It was very surprising. And then I'm really looking forward to our event next Friday. Again, next Friday, tickets are still available. You can check out your Patreon messages or Facebook for the link to tickets. We've got a finished whiskey series we're going to be doing, and that's another Ohio distillery, Everwild Spirits. Their toasted bourbon we're having in there, and that's over there, Port Clinton area, I think. Catawba Island, Port Clinton kind of area. Everwild is over there.
Sandusky.
Sandusky.
Is it?
There you go.
Everwild's in Sandusky.
Yeah, Everwild's in Sandusky. So I'm really super excited to kind of feature another Ohio distillery on there. And of course, Toledo Spirits, their standard Lower Town 99, pretty decent for a $30 bottle. They've got their Vestula single malt that is actually a pretty good American single malt. So yeah, Ohio's got some good stuff going on. So well, everyone, I'm super excited that you were able to join me. I really hope you liked the flight. I hope everyone watching enjoyed it and kind of open your mind a little bit up to, some Ohio distilleries, some Michigan distilleries. And then, of course, I love bragging on Wilderness Trail because I love what they're doing down there. But I hope you join us again. Keep on waiting for the YouTube channel. We've got a list of content we want to put out there for you guys. But with that, we are going to cut it off here and wish everybody a good night, a good rest of their weekend. And I hope you guys had a good time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks.